All right, here we go. Welcome back to Axie Tuesday, everyone. Hello there, YouTube. Today is one of those days where it got away from me. I'm not going to lie to you. I woke up this morning. It was about, I first woke up at 4 a.m. to see how things were going to go in terms of the official announcement of the new Series B round by Sky Mavis, 150 mil. Pretty exciting. It's a lot of money. This is a big time. We just did a Series A not that long ago for only 7.5 mil. So to see that jump on this timeline, it's a unicorn right there. Unicorn. That's it's really something. That's really wild. And that's not my doing, right? That stuff exists on a layer above me. You know, that's like co-founder, kind of high-level C-suite. I am a senior at Sky Mavis. Don't get me wrong. I'm a program lead, but I ain't no co-founder. All right, I ain't no C-level executive yet. Chief Esports Officer. I'll be the second. I'll be CEO with the little e. CEO. Oh God, it's awful. But no, that's super exciting stuff, and I know how hard the team has been working to arrange that, close that. It's a big deal, man. It's a really big deal, and it's a really time-consuming process. Zyori anecdote, I dipped my toe in the water trying to do a funding round for Moonduck, and it was really hard. And in the case of Moonduck, we really weren't like a VC-compatible kind of concept, and we weren't really... We could maybe have worked for certain angel investors, and if there was a VC out there that really got us and had a stack that could have enabled and integrated what we were doing and would have been okay, like shelling out some cash up front, I think there's a world where we just needed to find the right person. And in that regard, it's so much more about networking than it is about your actual pitch or your value proposition. It's about who you know and working your way up the ladder and presenting things in the most sexy way possible. In this case, it's way different, right? Axie is like this poster child of NFT gaming, and that means people are pretty darn excited about it. So it's so cool. It's a big stroke of validation, and I don't know. I think you got to remember as well from my perspective. Sorry. Oh shoot! I lost my train of thought. Issues sent me a message and I read it, and now I'm just completely. From my perspective, signing on board. Coming from the Dota space, Dota in particular, right, has a lot of NFT haters. I think they hate blockchain and cryptocurrency in general, but they really hate NFTs. And when they saw my news blog post about switching to Axie, and I guess it reads a little bit like a shill, but obviously all of that is honest assessment. I don't know, man. A lot of people were very aggressively like wishing me ill, kind of like, oh, this idiot. He doesn't understand that VC dollars mean nothing in the crypto world and that they're just going to rug this as soon as they can, and how it's not legit and everything in crypto is a scam, and how it's such a shame to see somebody like, fall from graces in a great esport like Dota to sell out for some shitty crypto mobile Ponzi whatever. And obviously you expect some of that, and you know that those people just don't get it, and there's plenty of people that do get it, and that's okay, and that's part of, doing something new and reinventing yourself in some ways. It's always a little hard, and always has those people that aren't into it. It's not copacetic, but still, it feels good to see news like this pop out, and there have those little moments where I think, what are you saying now? And of course, those people don't really give a shit. They're not looking. They're not Zyori fans. They're just Redditors that probably didn't like me to begin with, that are angry about everything and use that as a great excuse to express some anger that, the moderators will leave there intact. So anyway, I'm still new, guys. You got to remember, I'm on like month 6 of Axie time. that's in some ways a lot of time has gone by. In other ways, we're still right at the beginning, and I still feel a little green, right? I've only met like a handful of even the Axie OGs. I've met digitally a good amount of them. Physically, I've met like 2. So I still have a lot of catching up to do, I think. I guess this hasn't really been announced anywhere yet, but I am going to Portugal in a couple weeks. I'm going to be speaking at, is it ETH Lisbon? I think that's the event. Hopefully I didn't just spoil some grandiose announcement. But yeah, I'm headed off to Portugal for like 5-day sprint or something. And excited to tour around a little bit, investigate. Portugal's been on my radar, so that's pretty cool. Anyhow, if you've made it this far into this Axie Tuesday, good on you, especially if you're a VOD viewer. We're not going to have a long-form guest today. I know we just did a solo Axie Tuesday, and we just had a stream the other day testing before the dev chat that almost felt like an Axie Tuesday because I got on some rant tangent about how blessed I am to be working on Axie or something. I don't fucking know, man. Getting all transcendental and teary-eyed on stream. I had a nice 45-minute rant, though, in between the lo-fi. And then we did the dev chat also. So there's just been a lot of talking and content, and that's part of why it's been such a busy week. And I always, even though it seems so natural, and I'm a very experienced on-camera talent now, when I have a break from doing, like, there's a difference between popping on my stream and doing a podcast like this and just going for it unpolished and doing, like, real content, where you're getting paid a 4-figure day rate to be a commentator at a tournament or a desk host, or to do polished, like that's official Sky Mavis broadcast, like we're blasting every channel, 20K concurrent viewers, a big deal in the Axie world. I don't want to fuck that up. We want to nail it. We want to do it right. We want to do it justice and not just overhype something. So it's a little nerve-wracking, dude. I had to wake up, like the broadcast started 6 a.m. my time local. I don't really mind, honestly. We have a global team, so somebody always has to be awake at a weird hour, and generally I'm the one to volunteer to do it. I like working early, and I keep kind of a weird sleep schedule anyway. I worked overnight doing Southeast Asian and Chinese casting in California for so long. And then even after that, like I did a lot of Southeast Asian coverage. Every single LAN I can remember, Trent and I were the early morning guys. Like, we'll cast at 8 a.m. That's no problem. Up at 6, working at 8, done by noon. Dude, that's a day right there. You have the whole fucking afternoon to just chill, watch everybody else mope around. Oh, God. So here's the thing. The later slots, there's higher chances for delays. First one in the morning, it can't get delayed. It's the first one. It starts the day. I mean, it's like some cataclysmic problem if the whole thing starts delayed, right? So, and I always just feel fresh in the morning. Anyway, but to prep that, stream goes, if I think about my little production list, even though it's just me here coordinating this in my echoey new apartment, I got some sound dampeners coming. They haven't arrived yet. I think they get here tomorrow. It's stream on at 5:40. OBS like checked 5:30, and I don't want to have sleepy voice for something like that, so I got to be awake for a good 30 minutes. I got to do a little vocal warm up and practice, get my brain about me. Got to eat a little bit, you got to get some oatmeal, got to make the coffee, got to look at the outfit. You got to, sometimes you always have an outfit plan, right? But sometimes you wake up in the morning and go, fuck was I thinking? There's no way this is going to work. And I've also had times like the last Dota casting sprint I did. It was a 6-week, 6 days a week casting sprint, right? Pretty good. It's a good amount of broadcasting work. By the end of it, you're like, fuck, I'm so tired of doing this, and I'm so glad it's over, so I can just rest and relax, because it's hard to stay fresh for that many broadcast hours in such a short period. And I had a couple days where I was wearing boobs a lot more too. Oh, I wonder if this would look good with boobs. Maybe that's where I fucked up. Oh, man. See? All these conversations lead to something. But back then, I was wearing boobs a lot more, and there were a couple times where it's like I put on a shirt, like a blouse, and then I put a jacket on over it, and I just sat there and was like, this does not work. This is not a women's jacket, and you can tell. And I remember there were a couple times where our Croatian producers, they were nice about it, but there were a couple times where they were like, yes, this does not work. And then they would sort of start to explain and be like, Yes, you get it. So definitely had a few of those moments. But hey, that's how it goes. You know, fashion's hard, especially when you're opening Pandora's box for the first time. I mean, that was much earlier on in the journey. Jeez, time does fly by, though. Anyway, all that is to say, we don't have a guest today. However, we do have like a weird partial announcement. This is a... I got to use some judgment here. I have some discretion. All right. How do I want to frame this? I think this is good. I'm going to go for it. I think this is good to share. You know, there's like these moments where sometimes it's good to share little internal Sky Mavis and Axie anecdotes of, you know, like communications and private channels and like business stuff that you wouldn't normally hear about or see, but sometimes those little glimpses can be really revealing as to like, yeah, scaling. So, you know, we're building out our HR infrastructure, and it is really hard. I've never been a part of a company that has scaled at this rate and this quickly, this globally, this remotely, right? I have experience in all those quadrants, but not all of them together at this pace. And when you have this Vietnamese backbone, it's like you have to build out this HR model that works for Vietnamese on-site culture for our developers and that whole vertical. But then we have this whole international team of remote people, and they also have to fit into this HR framework some way. And when it's mostly co-founders at the beginning, like Axie was for most of its life cycle, the past 3 years or so, it's like co-founders and developers doing all the work. You don't even need that many people because there's only so much to do. And now very quickly, myself and Michael, aka Programmatically Pull, he's the head of the support team. The support team's been growing like crazy. It seems like every other week he's like, got to hire more people. Need more support folks. We're behind on tickets. We got to get this thing going. And it seems like every other week the answer is like, all right, dude, let's hire some more support people. Find the best ones you can for the budget we've got. And it's amazing to see that growth machine start to turn a little bit, and what started as a pain point get turned into a process and then get turned into like a routine, this thing that we can just rinse and repeat. And that's kind of what scaling is all about, right? So when it comes to new employees on the international, like the business team that is international, the team that I'm a part of, like myself, Jeff, Psych Out, the support team as well. They're sort of their own little bubble within that bigger bubble, right? And me, and we have the esports team. And I've got my first esports manager now, full-time, ready to rock and roll, and a part of the team. And I don't know how we're supposed to announce this or how we're supposed to put it out to the world. And in the past, like when I started, it was sort of this, I do a probation period. And yeah, there's like this good faith, and I am technically signed on, and I'm like NDA'd and stuff, but it's not really announced that I'm joining Axie. My first month, I was still doing some of that Dota broadcasting and kind of moonlighting Axie, and I was only at like a 30% capacity, most of it just learning and getting involved in the ecosystem. And after I passed that gut check was when we did the official, hey, Zyori's part of the team, let's go, let's do it. And that's like a two-way street, right? We're feeling each other out. For me as an influencer, it's a big deal to say I'm switching games, I'm not going to do this one anymore, and now I'm going to do this thing full time. That is a really big deal from that aspect of what I do. So I want to make sure, hey, do I really like these guys? Do I see this as a long-term fit? Do I really believe in what Axie's doing? I wanted to have that space to understand that before I went full steam ahead with the announcement. And I think likewise, they wanted to like, hey, you seem good. The credentials line up. It seems like you're saying the right things, but let's see how you do, and having that, whatever it was, 4 to 6 week buffer. I think that is a really good meter to get a taste of, do we like this guy or do we not like this guy? Again, is it going to be a long-term fit? Now, when it comes to these like more public-facing roles, I think it's a little harder to do that so succinctly, right? Like in the case of Stu here, who we're gonna bring on before too long, he's our new esports manager, and it's like I need to verify his existence, and I've already shown a lot of pictures of him on Twitter. We've sort of talked about it on multiple podcasts. It's not really a secret, so I don't think there's any way we can bumble around like, hey, we've got this mystery esports manager. I wonder who it could be. Who's this man Zyori's been tweeting about? And I do feel a little bad because I think some people got the wrong impression and think that we're a couple or something because we were traveling together in Iceland, and that the picture of him playing Axie that got like whatever, a couple of hundred retweets, where it's like, hey, my friend here, Stu, paid for his trip in SLP. And then he's still playing Axie. It was a nice picture and a nice tweet. But you could clearly see that he was in bed, and that like the framing of the picture implied that I took it. And it's like, well, you're just on the bed with him, and you look at the size of the apartment, and it's just like, so you guys are sharing a bed, and it's like, no, all right, I didn't mean to imply that. So I think we threw some unintentional misinformation out there. So I apologize for that. No, Stu and I are not a couple. He's just good friend. We met in Iceland for the first time. It ended up kind of doubling as a job interview. When we scheduled the trip, we had no idea that he was going to become part of the company or even interview. But, you know, as friends do, you plan a holiday. It's a pretty good time. You go cheap. It was a studio apartment. And then, yeah, by the time the trip rolls around, it's like, dude, we're actually kind of serious about this. Let's talk about Axie. Let's talk about blockchain. Let's get you set up. I gave him a hardware wallet to get him going, and the rest is kind of history. So anyway, that's what the teasers around, you're going to see more of this guy were that I put out there, because he is officially our new esports manager. This is his first week. So very excited about that. And this is a big deal because it is part of our scaling strategy. We have big esports plans coming up. And even with this preseason, it's a lot to manage. Like even just the routine, the cycle that we have in place now of the tournaments that have been approved with AXS and helping them get all their stuff set up, whitelisting their users, supporting the users that mistype their emails or we screw up or whatever, for whatever reason they don't get put into the system. There's been a couple times where I've had to like reset the server because there was one issue or another. So there's just this constant monitoring. None of it's hard, but some of it's tedious, and some of it requires you to be on call at different hours. We've got global tournaments going on, so some of them are not particularly convenient. 9 p.m. on a Saturday, my time is not the easiest time to be available to do, troubleshooting and technical support if there's some server issue. So anyway, having a second set of hands there is really, really helpful. And with some of the events and esports infrastructure that we have planned, I think it's certainly going to behoove us to have a few more people integrated into the stack. And very excited about that future. So I think let's give him a call. Let's chat with Stu. This isn't going to be like a full Axie Tuesday or anything. I really just want to give him a jingle and say hi, and let you all hear from him, and give you the old +1 here. So yeah, it's very exciting stuff, and. This is just the beginning, right? I think we're going to continue expanding teams and verticals, and obviously with this funding round, this is a big time for Axie and Sky Mavis to really start building out other verticals and start thinking creatively about what's the most effective way to start spending this money. What are some of the things we've always said, wow, it'd be really cool if we could build that. Now we can afford to hire the talent to build that in some of these cases. And obviously there's a whole process there of taking things from ideation into like a workable concept into actual real life execution. That takes a while, but anyway, I digress. Let's give him a call. Hello. Yes, indeed. Oh wow, I actually didn't set up an overlay for this. I should have put a picture up here of us together, Stu. Let's see here. Axie podcast. Okay, let me update this real quick. Stu, welcome to the stream. I know you're not much of a content guy. You're used to working behind the scenes, but I'm excited to have you here. I'm excited to introduce you to all of my Axie friends here. Is your Twitter Stewart _SSDD? Do I have that right?
That's correct.
All right. I'm going to replace this picture with one of you. So, how are you, bud?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Enjoying my day. Enjoying getting involved in the world of Axie. It's yeah, it's a complete change from what I have been doing the last 5.5 years. Let's go with that.
Yeah, well, that's for sure. So, you're on day number 2. How's it felt so far? I know you've dove into the Axie world because you've obviously you paid for the Iceland trip. We talked about that. You've been grinding on one of my VIP scholar accounts, and I don't know if you want to reveal your sign on extra, but now you've actually got a set of your own. So you've already dipped your toe in a little bit, at least.
I mean, it was somewhat a bit of a I'm gonna say baptism of fire. It was we booked the holiday. It was a week out there with you as a full blown interview. I then took interview from Psych Out, Alex. And then day after I got back from holiday, it was the interview with Jeff Jiho. It's to say for a job interview, 3 parts, interviewing with big heads up CEOs, big names. It's yeah, it definitely threw me in at a deep end to start off with.
Yeah, the timing is always chaotic with Axie, and I remember hearing way back in the day when I worked at like a computer repair store. This is like 2007 or something. Google's still this crazy bigwig, like exciting tech company, and this guy came in the computer store and he's talking about how he's selling something and how he got the call from Google, and he was like, when Google calls, you answer and you say yes. If you don't just say yes to everything, they just move on. There's no haggle. There's no nothing. And I remember him saying that and thinking, wow, that's a really crazy way to do business. I couldn't imagine ever having so much demand and inbound that you could just operate that way and have people be like almost excited about it. This guy's talking about it like Google called me. This is amazing. And like, I don't know, I feel like Axie is getting into that territory a little bit, and in like a good way where we have so much demand and so much inbound. There's this sort of I don't know. It's an exciting opportunity, but I think you have a really specific history and background that is going to make you a good fit for Axie. We use the word grit a lot, and yeah, tell us a little bit about your work experience, bud.
Oh God, my work experience. Well, until basically last week, I'd been spending 5.5 years in the UK betting industry, running shops, working on race courses, the lot. Um, so dealing with every member of society that you can think of, whether it be the upper class on the race courses to the average Joe on the street. It's dealing with people that get, as you can imagine, when hundreds of pounds could be being spent, frustrated, and guess what? It's me who they're probably going to be trying to take it out of, whether it be give me a few choice words or trying to
Yeah.
throw a chair at me.
I think one of the things that was illuminating to me was understanding what betting culture is like in the UK and how prolific it is, and these like physical shops where you're working the shop and you're sort of playing counselor and sort of socializing and hanging out with these people, almost like a bartender kind of. You're not serving drinks, but you're serving a different kind of dopamine hit, and people do linger around and watch sports that they've bet on in the shop, right? So there's this
I would,
highly you're kind of a community manager, you're a mathematician, you're a cashier, you're a psychologist, you're an emotional counselor, you're also sort of like a security guard to some degree.
yeah,
It's like
it's
this medley of high stress factors.
it's one of those where if I got paid for every single one of the jobs that I did, I wouldn't actually need to work anymore. I could have retired by now. Like the counseling side and having to so people can bet online and all that kind of stuff with higher limits than what they can in shops. But I'd rather have someone in front of me because then I'm there. I'm that person who can, okay, Steve, it's been a long day for you. It's not going well. Do you want to take 5 minutes, take fresh air, try and reset yourself mentally if you're gonna continue. If not, feel free to call it a day. It's compared to that where you sat in your dark bedroom doing it on your phone or what have you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, the human
It,
element's important. I mean, we've talked about that a lot recently. How Axie, I think, it comes back to the physical space. You know, yes, in the form of events and meetups, but maybe even more than that. You know, I had a call yesterday with somebody that said, "All right, last question for real. Where do you see this thing going 5 years from now?" And I gave a pretty long-winded answer, but I started it with, I don't know, dog. 5 years, shit could get pretty fucking crazy by 5 years. I mean, damn. I like AXS and all these other things are moving. Even like SLP and stuff. Like it's all, this all happens very fast. And I'm obviously bullish on Axie and I've been bullish on AXS, but I have misjudged the timeline multiple times now. You know, like I said this, I think on one of the other podcasts that of all the AXS that I've been paid so far in the last 5 months, I've only saved like 10% of it. You know, at all these all-time highs, I've been selling it, buying Axies and collector's items and NFTs. And like, I don't really regret any of the purchases, but seeing how fast AXS has gone up, I wish I'd held on to a little more of it for staking. You know, I didn't really like, when we were at 50 or 60, I was like, whoa, we're way ahead of my expectations. This is amazing. I gotta take some profits while I can. You know, who knows? We could be here for a while. And I think that is not just AXS, but that's like an analogy for the Axie universe in general. And 5 years, man, some of this compounding growth, things could get really fun. I don't know.
I
What
mean,
excites you the most, Stu? What gets your gears turning?
I mean, let's go into my history. I've been in and around esports for quite literally half my life at this point, whether it be doing MLG game battles or Call of Duty, FIFA back in the day, um, going to events and attending LANs. I want to feel that atmosphere again. The last 18 months of COVID have put things back with the socializing, with the live events. I want to get back in the meet space. I want to be meeting people with the same mindset as me, enjoying the events.
A meat space boy. Yeah, we've definitely got a lot of that coming up, and
I mean,
I'm
I'm a bit
excited.
traditional. I mean, you remember one of the first things that I ever said to you about me, what loving physical stuff rather than and not understanding crypto when I initially first got in touch and what have you.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, we spent a lot of time in COVID, like initial lockdown, where you had been on full salary for was it a year? Was it a full year?
So it was, I think, 9 months out of 12. They put me on full salary and then some to basically sit at home in my PJs and play
Yeah,
video games and look
yeah.
pretty.
And I was in a similar, like, there was a kind of a shutdown period for a lot of Dota gigs, and the few that I had lined up were canceled, and we just hunkered down, man. And that was like, we played poker, we played Dota, played PoE. I think you played some FIFA and Football Manager. We watched UFC every weekend. We started doing like group movies in the Discord. You know, like we rallied digitally, and that was the backbone for this Iceland meetup. I guess we were both originally planning on going to TI in Sweden. And after that got moved to Romania, I said, eject your seat, and you were stay the course for Romania. So we threw in Iceland as kind of like a side quest, I guess you could call it. Yeah, the human spirit, man. But I agree with you. Is that the little proof of concept meetups that we've been doing in the United States, like what Jeff did in New York and the event we were at in Denver. People are hungry for it, man. I think we're not alone in that regard. You know, we gotta be mindful of the ethics and make sure we're doing events like in some sort of a responsible manner. But at the same time, vaccines are becoming so accessible now. I don't know. At what point are we able just to start congregating again and getting back into the physical space? I suppose it can start with small events that are spread out across a lot of different regions, but they're also just not the same, dude. I want that Axie World Finals. I want to see all these fans going crazy. I want to see Indez on the stage. I want to see that big brain play happen and the commentators go hog wild and they throw it back to the desk and we're like, I can't believe it. And we cut to Stu on the stage and he's got the clipboard and he's wearing a referee shirt and he blows the fucking whistle. And we're like, all right, round 5 starts, and it's some epic decider. We got this sick workflow. It's like real esports, and then the winner's crowned. We pop off some confetti. Maybe there's some fireworks. Hand them a trophy. Trung comes out and puts a rope around their neck. I give a motivational speech. We all cry a little bit. And we go party. Dude.
It's a dream.
I want that so bad.
It's a dream at this point. Life's been on hold for so long at this point.
Yeah.
Just want to get back to normal.
Yeah. So it does start online though, like a lot of these kind of league type things. We certainly have some work to do on polishing out that roadmap and figuring out like what do qualifiers look like. I've done a lot of events, but usually at the level past the open qualifiers. That used to be like a yearly occurrence in Dota with TI, these open qualifiers. But when you think about Axie Esports and trying to make it more accessible, let's say we've got 2 million daily active users, and then we announce a $1 million Axie tournament. And it starts with 3 different regions, and all the regions have sets of open qualifiers. I mean, how many people register for that? 50,000? 100,000?
Yeah, it's absurd numbers that we got to think about organizing formats. We're basically writing the rule book between the two of us at this point.
Like, yeah, that's and obviously there's like strategic partners that we could loop in, and there's various platforms. Like, I mean, I think Face It has done tournaments at that scale before. Community gaming is sort of working on scaling up to that level, and there's various other platforms like that out there. So it's not impossible. Maybe you find ways to limit that and say, hey, anybody who's over 2,000 MMR at the end of the season or whenever you take this snapshot, then you have potential to join in, and maybe that's a way to make it a little bit more manageable, because we do have to balance it, right? Like, we want it to be accessible, but there's degrees of accessibility, from the 0.0001% of like the top 10 finalists in the world all the way down to like the top 100, top 1,000. We're still talking about slivers of a percent. So even if we could touch like 5% or something with esports in some meaningful way, that would be really huge. So I don't know, dude. It's big. That's the thing. Like, Axie's growing fast. We got a big ship here, bud. It's very exciting stuff. It's very cool. And I know we're going to have a lot of help and support along the way. We're going to crawl before we can walk, and we're going to walk before we can run. So don't worry, folks. We're not going to go too big too fast, but it is really fun to think about. Again, this whole conversation started in the framing of, where could Axie be 5 years from now? I think that's very realistic. What does our Axie World Finals look like in 2026? Dude, I think that shit's gonna be wild.
Sky's the limit at this point.
I think we all remember TI3, right? What's going to be our TI3? Yeah, who's going to be our El Clasico, dude? I can't wait for those storylines to start forming. I can't wait for the esports talk shows, Axie Radio. Kick it to Stu for the late night esports report.
Oh, God.
It's pretty cool, man. How are you finding crypto overall? This is what I'm always curious about, because you are... you're the definition of a new user. As you pointed to when we first met, I think you referred to yourself as the kind of guy that wouldn't mind having his money in a shoebox under his bed. And I think you were/are pretty light on the investment portfolio, mostly a cash hodler, just a good little saver, which is certainly better than being a good little spender if you're not buying any assets. But yeah, I'm curious. I saw you bought some Ethereum, and you at least own some Axies now. Even if they were a gift, you've got some NFTs, mate. I'm curious, what's the...
They're registered to my name. It's all above board. It's it's a slow learning progress. It's going from, if it's not physical, it doesn't exist, to, okay, this has value. Let's slowly get my head around this. It's so none of my family owns stock, none of them owns crypto. It's none of these conversations were had growing up. It's all a massive learning curve. But I'm dipping my toes in. I'm figuring it out as I'm going along. I've got people that can advise, and like yourself, as that I can pluck bits of knowledge from, so I don't completely
I
just throw
can't
my money
wait
down the
until you
drain.
buy your first NFT, dude. Non-Axie NFT. What's it gonna be? You gonna join the Uwu crew, bro?
I mean, this is. I'm surprised you're not sending me down your future project.
Well, yeah, I don't. It might be out of your price range.
Okay.
Not to be condescending or anything, but we'll see. I might have the pricing totally wrong, but I'm planning on starting the pricing at like not a premium, but not like ultra low. But if it's just an open auction, then I don't know. Maybe you're better off starting lower. We'll see. I haven't figured it out exactly, but yeah, you should bid. You should definitely bid. That'd be exciting.
Who knows?
God, I feel like such a tease, and I have this really weird balance. Stu, I talked about this on the dev chat, and I like that Jiho slapped me down. That's one thing every dev chat so far, there's been a moment where if you're a very nuanced or long-term follower, or you know us somehow, there's a moment where Zyori says something kind of wrong and just gets slapped by the iron fist of the Axie gods. In the first one, it was when I said useless Axies, and Alex was like, well, hold on a second there, sir. There's no such thing as a useless Axie. I just want to say that for the record, that all Axies are useful. Some may be more than others, but no Axie is useless. And I kind of went, oh, fuck. Oh, no. I was so embarrassed. And in this second one, oh God, I just lost it. I had a memory flashback, and now I just lost the other one. What were we just talking about, Stu? Trigger the memory to come back.
Trigger the memory. Trigger the memory. Moments when Jeff has knocked you after you've said something you probably shouldn't have.
Before that,
Ooh.
what were we talking about right before that?
It was
Shit.
your future project with NFTs.
Future project with NFTs and oh yeah, I said that I wanted to, or like one of the things that's hard about leaking stuff is that it gives competitors a chance to reverse engineer stuff faster. And he was just like, nah, it's really about the hype, and leaking shit kills the hype. And hype is fucking awesome. And even though you guys complain about it, you fucking love the hype. You're addicted to it. And we're going to give you the hype. And he just like cut right through my bullshit with a like, nah, it's not really that. And I don't know. I think it's a great theory. And I think there is some truth to what I said about that. But yeah, that did kind of crack me up. So with my own project, I feel similarly torn where I'm always afraid people are going to steal my ideas. But in this case, it's kind of impossible to steal. But I still want the reveal to be hype. So I keep teasing. I'm going to keep on teasing. It's not done yet, too. That's the other thing. I'm waiting for the artist to finish all the renders, and then it'll feel more real. Once I can do the data entry and actually mint them shits, then I'll be ready to like say, okay, guys, this is totally real. But you know, it doesn't, similar to used to, it doesn't feel real until it's done. You know,
Yeah.
like what is an NFT? In this case, it's more than just a picture, man. It's the presentation, it's the lore, it's the story, it's the perks, it's the community, it's the collectorism, it's the connection, it's the pegging to real world. It's this intersection of all these different factors that make this a cool NFT project. So anyway, God, I'm so fucking excited. But yeah, the Uwu crew is also pretty cool, man.
We'll figure out some project for me to get aboard. Let's go with that one.
I like cheap floor price entry level NFTs. I mean, here, dude, this is. I'm just gonna drop this in chat. This is Stream and Stew. Look at this thing, 29.18. You got the boba, you got the pink background, you got elf ears and the stealth dress. You're making the humph face.
That's pretty cute.
See, Stu, if you were, I don't know, in the Matrix and transgender, that's what you would look like. There you go.
Probably slightly more redheaded, but yeah, I wouldn't get me against that.
Oh God. Yeah, so maybe one of the last things we can chat about here, as someone just brought it up in chat, and since you were planning on going, maybe it does feel a little more
No.
relevant. Zyori, are you going to comment on the international? And honestly, I haven't looked at the news in the last 36 hours, so I feel a little out of touch with the latest at TI and Dota. I don't know, man.
It's quite depressing. It's quite depressing. Do you want me to be honest? Like,
Yeah.
I planned to go last year when they announced Sweden 2019. When it was 2019, I was at my friend's house in Växjö, what have you, in Sweden itself, and was just like, oh my god, let's go. And just like, okay, COVID hit, just like, could happen. Still in 2020. No, they delayed it a year, but I was still excited to go this year, even though somewhat my love has for Dota has faded over the years. Romania, okay, slightly off-putting. That they haven't got the same mass mandate. They haven't got the uptake in vaccines. Made me very anxious. Then it got to selling tickets. Just like, okay, I'm committed in at this point. I bought it, and within a week, no, no, we're not having a live audience. I've spent money on flights, Airbnbs. Yeah,
It's all
it,
probably
it,
too late to meaningfully cancel.
it was one of those where it was kind of going to be my farewell to Dota. Like, I'm still
Yeah.
the Dota 2 UK admin. It was going to be kind of one of my last events, unless it happened to be in the UK that I could easily attend. So it's just kind of a bit frustrating more than anything. I was excited to go.
Yeah. And it sucks because like part of they had originally said Sweden is an issue because they have to have a crowd. And it's just like, I don't know, the crowd was always going to be tough with this. And to see it now not have a crowd, it's like, well, we could have just. So many people got messed up and kind of fucked around by the. I'm trying to say this as nicely as possible. I don't even know why. I get that COVID sucks and is sort of like an act of God, and like legally and whatnot, you're totally allowed to just be like, I don't know, it's all just a guideline. But COVID dropped halfway through a season. So majors got canceled that were part of a circuit for a TI that never happened. And some of the teams that had DPC points for that circuit just never realized any benefit from that, right? And there's an opportunity cost and a risk associated with committing to the circuit and a team and saying, hey, we're going to do this year-long sprint with the goal of making the international. Like in the case of J-Storm, where they placed well in one of the early majors, they had a good chance of making it to TI if they just placed at all in any further event throughout the season. Then the whole season gets canceled. The team's rocky, the org's falling apart, and it all just disbands. The org dumps, and then the team disbands like however long later, a year later, 6 months later. And they never got paid out for those DPC points. They were never communicated anything, to my knowledge, of what's going to happen or how they're going to rectify it. And then they just kind of rebooted a new season. And it's like we crowdfunded all this shit, and then we bought another battle pass, and now we're here, and it all just feels so shitty and mismanaged. And I get that it's really easy to point at all the like, you could have done this better retroactively, and it's really, really hard to navigate events in this COVID space. I'm getting a taste of it now. I get that it is hard, but it's when money is no object, a lot of problems can be solved. And a lot of other really big esports spent that money to make big things happen still, despite all of the challenges. And to see how much time has passed and to see where we're at, and just like, God, man, Dota's really hard. It's really frustrating, and I feel bad for a lot of the people that are really, really entrenched in the ecosystem, like people that have been in it for 10 years and have this crazy expertise and sunk cost that isn't really transferable. Some of them are casters, some of them are players, some of them are just involved in the ecosystem in various other ways. It's a tough spot because Dota is this esport that exists on like an island. All these other esports have all this crazy crossover, relatively speaking. Dota is like got these long bridges over here by itself. And that's like a benefit and a strength. And when the ecosystem's going well, you're like in it, and it's like this big pool party, and outsiders are like, I don't know what's going on at that pool party, but it looks fucking awesome. And you're just living the dream at TI. But when shit's not going well, you're like, hey guys, we're really far away, and I'm sending an SOS, and everyone else is just like, yeah, it looks like that fire's burning in the distance. I don't know what the fuck's going on over there, but whoo. So there's a weird duality to it, and yeah, it's an ecosystem where you're really just along for the ride, I think, and that's that's hard. It's really hard.
I think a lot of it at this point is they just need to get the event done. They need to give the prize money out. They've got $40 million that's been effectively allocated. Another 120 on top, because 75% of it goes to Valve and 25 to the prize pool. It just needs spending. It needs going to the players so that they can move on with this whole TI-10 fiasco almost at this point. Like, I think it was Team Spirit that rooms were just uber cramped. Even just a simple thing of in the bathroom, there was no toilet roll. There's like 8 figures on the table at this point, 9 figures taken overall. And little things like that can't be organized. They didn't have internet in the practice rooms an hour before they were due to start practice games. I would say I expect that better from Valve at this point, but I don't, and I'll be lying to your face if I did. It's unfortunate, given how much expectation, hype, and anticipation is around TI at this point.
So I hearing somebody, I saw a Twitch chat comment, hearing you say that, I remembered that I wanted to tweet my predictions. And I think I said them on stream the other day, and I don't remember if this order is exactly right, but this is my call. I think LGD 1, Secret 2, EG 3, T1 4, Quincy Crew 5. I don't know where that leaves OG, but I like doing the top 5. Quincy Crew is my reach. I want to see them make the run. I think that's going to be hard. That could very well be OG right there. But yeah, I think it's LGD Secret Finals, and I think LGD is going to take it. I think EG is going to get third again.
I mean, it's just a meme at this point. It's it's just OG, that TI wildcard factor. We don't know what condition Seb's eye is in after detaching his retina in the last couple of weeks. It's interesting, let's say.
All right, should I tweet this and make it the public record? Is this crazy? Are these crazy predictions, Stu? Is T1 4th, EG 3rd, Quincy Crew 5? Is Purge going to mock me?
Maybe slightly, but I think that the T1 is the wildcard one out of those picks.
Ah, come on. T1's fucking crazy, dude. This is 23 Savage's year. March as a coach, dude. Come on now. Don't be a futter.
I'm just... I always... And it's always to my downside. I always underestimate Southeast Asia and Dota just because I don't have enough exposure to it.
I'm tweeting it, dude. Your wishy-washy answer makes me want to tweet it even more, dude.
Fuck
yeah, let's go.
Do it.
Let's go. We didn't come this far to wuss out now. All right, very good. Well, I'm glad that this little interview led to that. So there you go, folks. You got a little Dota talk today. It was pretty wild. I did an interview with Ian Mercado on her Facebook on Monday, right after the dev chat. I guess that was yesterday. She commented afterwards, like, wow, my fans like seriously knew who you were. Like, not like, oh, hey, that's Zyori from Axie, but like, oh, that's Zyori, the Dota guy. I watched him like 5 years ago when he was casting whatever. And it was kind of humbling and just nice to remember how big of an audience I have in Southeast Asia already, and like just how deep the Dota roots are there. And I don't know. I don't think I was pandering. I actually do believe in T1 a little bit. I remember casting 23 Savage when he was really green and first coming up at like, I don't know, T28, whatever they were playing with, like Genespris, like 2018 qualies.
I think that was 2018. Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. Kid's wild. So anyway, yeah, a little anecdote there. So I don't mind talking a little bit of Dota, especially when it comes to TI. I mean, this is big stuff. And hey, we got sports betting this year, so you bet your butt I could bet on TI. It's exciting. Yeah, how's that? I heard you put a few quid on OG to take the crown. How's that feeling right about now, bud? You see that Seb tweet and just go, oh fuck me.
It was completely that, and all the pirate jokes at this point. I'm an OG fanboy. I'm not going to deny, but it's. I don't think it's going to be as comfortable as previous years, but I think they stand a decent chance of at least going top four, and
Gotcha.
that would make my day, and I'll be happy with that. I'll take that as a victory, given the last season that they've had and barely scraping through the qualifiers. But I reckon that the South American teams are still could go fly under the radar like they have done previous occasions.
I think I'd like to see two of them make top 8. I don't think any of them will make top 4. I think it's possible we see one of them place like 5th or 6th.
I reckon we're going to get some K1 shenanigans like
I'm
2019 with the Wraith
yeah.
King.
Like I'm most if you're asking me what I'm most excited to watch at TI, it is definitely South America. I think they're sleepers. I think I'm probably going to place wagers on them in crazy upset matches and get bananas odds and then tweet about it because I think they are sleepers in that regard. I do think some teams will underestimate them.
I mean, we found out how they were underestimated. From the Predator, one of the majors this last year.
Yeah. I think Thunder Predator, they still have something to prove, but when that team jives, they're really good. I think Beast Coast, it depends what form they're in. They have the skills. It's do they have the discipline to be in good form and really train up and do the deep dive research. They've got Pepita as a coach now, which is pretty exciting. And Thunder Predator also have Fear as a coach. So I think that's also like that's one of those elements when you look at the odds, you don't see that shit, but you go, oh shit, Thunder Predator, a team that was like pretty good. They've got this raw power. They definitely play in sync. Then you pick up this old school coach like Fear from North America. He's played on the big stage. He's got a totally different lens. Like this is the dude that can give them that, like unlock that next few percent that would push them from like a 12th place finish to like a, 8th or 6th place finish or something. So I'm excited. I mean, I want to see SG do well also. We'll see how they do as a qualified team. I'm unsure. But yeah, I'm hyped to watch TI. It's going to be fun.
I'm excited for it. I'm just trying to think who's going to be the cannon fodder teams at the bottom of the groups at this point.
I guess, dude, could I do some TI streams? Because TI is open, right? I can just watch in the client and stream stuff. Yeah. Oh, dude, I might do that. I might do some chill streams.
I think it just goes with the standard basis as long as you're not stealing their camera footage and you're adding something to it. I think you're good.
Dude. Okay, that could be fun, especially for some of the SA games where like I don't know, man. I know some shit. I remember some shit. Okay. We got a goddamn plan, man. All right. Cool, dude. Well, Stu, I'll let you get on with it. I know you've got some to-do skis today, but I appreciate you stopping by to say hi. I think you'll be making the occasional appearance, certainly as we move things forward. And like the tournament administrator role and for some of the official Axie stuff, you'll certainly be playing a little bit of a forward-facing type position with some of the key community members. So very excited about that. Impressed with your learning prowess so far and excited to see, chart that progress, see where you are in a couple weeks, a couple months. And, I don't think we're going to get to see you for New York. Unfortunately, all things equal, that would have been awesome. COVID's fucking...
It's just timings, borders,
irritating.
It's a nightmare at this point.
Yeah, things are getting there, but it is a bit of a nightmare, unfortunately. So, looking forward to the future.
Double maxed and ready to go. It's just governments at this point,
dude. Axie Iceland when I'm telling. I was trying to tell everybody, like, guys, this is the hub. All right, this is where you go. You chill on the island. You get it going. I guess maybe it's more like Axie Caribbean. That's really what we should be lobbying for.
Let's get a tan while we do all this. Enjoy it at the beach.
True. All right, a tan or a sunburn. All right, mate. Well, I'll catch you on the other side. We'll see you later.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, that was a nice, look at that, 35 minutes with Stu. I love, oops, oh, Jesus. Oh, no. I showed my conversation with Stu. Oh, God. You guys saw me ask Stu if he's familiar with video editing software. I'm so embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed. Oh, no. Crack the old back. No, it was great. I love that we have these interview guests come on and they go like, all right, I could pop by, like, timid Max. I could, an hour? That sounds like a lot. 2 hours later. All right, Max, listen, I'm going to have to cut it here. All right, any more and I'm going to be late for my next meeting. Same with Stu. We could do 10 minutes, 35 minutes later. All right, mate, well, I guess we can move on. Feels good. No, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate all y'all. Be nice to old Stu. He's still a little bit of a crypto noob, but he's getting there. And hey, he's at least got a hardware wallet. All right, that's the first step. All right, crypto newbies out there, you know what you got to do. You got to get that hardware wallet set up. That's step number one. All right, that's what you got to do to launch that rocket, and you'll start moving towards the moon, one step in front of the other. I'm looking at my TI predictions now, and I'm so excited. And I'm also scared of the amount of hate I'm going to get from South American fans. They're like, what? No Beast Coast in the top 4? You're an idiot. So, yeah, I don't know that I have too much else to say. Any other way to wrap up Axie Tuesday? Do we have any other pressing issues? Britt, what's happening in your world? Anything you need answered? Any pressing questions? Like, can we get a moderator, VIP? Anything we need to know? Gaming Tetsu, any questions? Anything you need to know? What do you got? Let's end it with a question, and then we'll wrap up this Axie Tuesday with maybe a little bit of lo-fi. But we'll cut the official show here. I do have a meeting coming up before too long, and a little more to do this afternoon. With content like this, I heard a trick. Even if you're not feeling it, some days the trick is just to show up, Just be there. Just show your face. Let's be alone together. Yes, indeed. New PvP season when? Very excited about the next season of PvP. Should be some balance updates alongside this next one. And it's exciting. I don't have exact dates. I actually don't know. I genuinely don't know exactly when it's going to drop. But I would say with those sort of things, looking back at historical data does tend to be a pretty good indicator of the future. Not always, right? Things can always change and be updated and modified, but I think it's usually like a 2 or 3 week gap in between seasons. The last season was longer than most of the seasons past because the gap before that was longer than most of the other gaps. So we're starting a little bit of a new cadence, but I think we're coming right up on the edge of that pattern there. And pretty soon. No nerf chomp. I mean, I brought it up on the dev chat. Serious. It's only being played in 30% of all cards. Yeah, that's cool. It's pretty common. It's great. All good on this front. Wow. All right. Britt's got no pressing questions. Tetsu, I put you on the spot. He's either writing a book or he's run away from the spotlight. Radioactive Sushi, there's another shout out. Any questions? I guess we did just do the dev chat, so we just talked it out, man. Sometimes you said it all, and you just need to go chill out. Make a little lunch. Yeah, I got no nerf leaks. That's not on me, man. Can't think of anything others haven't asked. Okay. I mean, hey, Issues, what up? Yeah, I've been abusing Sirius. I'm not going to lie. The last season, old Zyori grinded up to about 1,800 by playing triple plant, triple rosebud, triple Sirius. It's nasty, dude. I feel bad playing it. I got 2 yams. My backliner's got a carrot. And then I got a little bit of damage mixed in there, it's nasty. It's nasty. I know Elijah laughed at it, just like, you don't have any damage. Like, yeah, you're right. I don't have any damage. I got heals, dude. Have you ever been in round 10 in a 1v1 against a Terminator with a Sirius, Rosebud, Cactus? No, not Cactus. Sirius, Rosebud, Carrot. What part am I missing? What's the back that I've got on my backliner? I don't know. I can't remember. How embarrassing. How embarrassing. Pumpkin? No, you never do pumpkin on your backliner. What is it? What is it? Oh, that shows how little Axie I've played recently. All right, let's look. Let's have a look. It's not Shiitake or Biden's. Those are good guesses. Those are very good. I mean, those are educated guesses. I got account not found. Great. There we go. Luckily, my account wasn't deleted. That was a close one. Let's see. Pumpkin. I was playing Watering Can for a while, which is disgusting. I think that might be it, dude. It is Watering Can. Oh, my God. That's my backliner. Okay. So that's your nasty backliner right there. You go Rosebud, Sirius, Carrot, and Watering Can. And guess what, dude? That Terminator just sits there trying to slap you into reality. And you're like, you know what, man? I'm just going to pop these rosebuds and let you die to the Blood Moon curse. It feels so good. Terminators kind of rely on you to do damage to them. So cut it out, man. See you later. Anyway, yeah, that was... I can't believe I forgot about Watering Can. Haven't played in a while. I've been trying to experiment with some of these other tanks. You know, like I got one now that's got the shrooms on the back with the carrot tail, the serious mouth, and then you got the cactus on the front, so it has a little bit more damage. And it's the same concept, right? Shrooms instead of rosebud. But yeah, you don't need yam on that backliner. You go carrot on that backliner. Yeah, that's the thing, right? If you have carrot and Sirius and a heal on your backliner, as long as you go into the 1v1 with 3 energy, you can basically manipulate them into anything, right? You play carrot Sirius. If they pass, you use Sirius and steal some shit. If they don't pass, well, then you got carrot, and there's a good chance that they break your carrot shield. And then you do that a couple times to try to feel them out. You play some mind games. Every so often, you throw in some shrooms, you know, you heal it up. And then if they fuck up big time where they try to save an energy and they break your carrot, so you get a +2 and they end with 0, oh my God, dude, it's just over. You can play 4 cards. They can only play 2 cards. You hit them with the full rotation. They panic and feel like, I just got to play my cards because if I don't, he's going to do something. And yeah, it's amazing. It's an amazing feeling. Serious carrot on the backliner. I'm telling you, Zyori pro tip. It'll get you to at least like 1,600 right there. Right there. But we'll see. Who knows? Maybe that's going to be bad advice. Maybe this YouTube video won't age so well, depending on what the patch notes look like, which, you know, should come with the new season. Should be right around the corner. Anyway, hiring support specialists. I think we will be perpetually hiring support specialists. I don't know if like right this moment we have a portal open for you to put a resume into because it goes in cycles, but keep an eye out. And I know we're like always perpetually scouting. So if you have like support experience, try to get in touch with the support team, you know, just kind of make yourself known a little bit. I think one of the best ways to like stand out for jobs like that is to be a standout community member and sort of do some of that support work as your contribution to the community. And that's like what the team looks at of, oh, wow, this person's a really standout community member. Look, they've gone above and beyond. You've already kind of proven yourself in some way. Think of that as like your internship. And if you snipe it there, then when you go into the real interview, you can go, hey, look, here's a situation where someone had this issue. This is how I resolved it. If I had a ticket system, I could do this. I've worked with this system. I worked with this company. I did that. I'm fucking awesome. You're really awesome. You should hire me. Bada boom, bada bing. We're slaying it together. So yeah, definitely. There will be as we scale this ship, there will be an ongoing need for more support specialists. That's like just an inevitable part of our stack, I think. So again, heads in the right place there for sure. Doug wants to be the water boy. All right, I'll keep that in mind for AxieCon. You know, talent handler. Guys, we brought in a specialist here. Who is it? Yeah, that's Dougie not gonna make it in Twitch chat. Yeah, he's not gonna make it. So he's like the perfect talent handler. You see, he's got that. You'll be like the Alan Rickman robot in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. You know, I think that's my impression of talent manager Dougie. Weirdly effective, but also weirdly cynical and depressed. But that's true. Together we're going to make it, Dougie. Don't you worry. High quality H2O. I love it. Thank you, Angelito. Yeah, it's starting to grow on me. I kind of like it as well. It's not that practical, but look at, it's got the tight middle too, like every good goddess dress. Oh, it's beautiful. It's really beautiful. It's just a little too long. All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap up this Axie Tuesday. Appreciate all y'all. Appreciate Stu for coming on. I know that for the non-talent types, those little interviews are stressful. So well done, Stu. Thanks a lot, buddy. And shout out to everyone else in chat. It's fun just to pop on and hang out with you guys. I've also been cheating a little bit. I've been playing some Diablo 2 Resurrected. It's actually been so freaking fun. So if you've been playing D2 Resurrected, get in my DMs. Give me some items. I'm not above begging for handouts when it comes to Diablo 2 goodies. I found Talrash's armor on my Sork. I got my Paladin that I'm trying to get through Normal and Nightmare right now so I can get some hammers flying, working on getting myself an Enigma. Oh, it's been fun. I like a little hack and slash. But shout out to all you, man. All you out there help make this possible. Axie Tuesdays is a blast. I look forward to it every week. And a lot of moving parts. New season starting soon. End of the year coming for Axie. We're starting to plan out some events. The team is growing. Everything's happening, folks. Everything's happening. Wheels are turning. Flowers are sprouting. Future seeds are being planted. The generation of now is quickly becoming the generation of tomorrow. The future is arriving at record pace. This shit is awesome, man. It's just awesome. You're awesome. I'm awesome. It's all awesome. I'm feeling it today. Turn that frown upside down. All right, enough platitudes. I'm sorry. It's getting obnoxious. I wish we could play real music. I love real amazing. I've been listening to so much good music recently, but all of it's copyrighted. I can't play it on Twitch. I understand why. So we're going to go back and do a little bit of lo-fi action. It's not that lo-fi. We're just going to play some bass today, but we're going to close it out with a little bit of the lo-fi. Thank you so much. Zyori Lo-Fi thanks you. I hope you have a very zen rest of your Tuesday.